So, let's talk for a moment about having a calm frequency as a man. Most men, especially nowadays, don't know how to be calm. They have a very nervous frequency. They are all over the place. They think they have to fill the gaps and of silence in conversations with noise, with jokes or something, because it makes them look a certain way. So, at least how I've found it, here are a few ways that you can fix that. Here are how you can be actually a calm, grounded person in the face of adversity and anxiety. Number one, breathing. You gotta fix your breathing, bro. Not to completely go off on like a mewing thing, but I feel like breathing through your nose is very, very much important. You don't want to be a mouth breather all the time. People can just tell. It's not the sort of energy you want to bring to a conversation with when you go there and you're just like all the time. Like, it doesn't bring a sense of calmness. So you want to be breathing through your nose properly, and you want to be breathing as deep as you possibly can, because oxygen goes where? Goes straight to the brain. Well, it doesn't go straight to the brain. First it passes through the lungs, and then oxygen cells go straight to the brain. It helps you think better. Helps you think better, and you can formulate your thoughts quicker. I even recommend doing some breathing exercises when you can. It does help in the long run with how you're breathing, just casually. And it allows you to, let me think of how I want to word this. Breathing exercises, especially I would say Wim Hof, do get rid of a lot of sicknesses as well. So, hey, if you're not sick all the time, you'll be less anxious, you'll have less nervous energy, you'll be more calm, you'll be more grounded. Number two, cold showers. Cold showers are good because they provide a lot of psychological benefits. People say that it's all about like the circulation. I actually disagree. I think the major benefits from the cold shower is all the psychological gains you get from it. So you can learn to push through something even when it sucks. You can learn to reinterpret how you feel as just that, how you feel. So, say for example, I'm in a conversation with somebody and they say something that puts me off a little bit, and instead of like freaking out like, why would you say that? I just take a moment, breathe, and then I reinterpret what they've just said as just a feeling. Like, this doesn't actually have an effect on me deep down here. It gave me an emotional reaction, which I will not react to, and I will instead respond how I want to respond. Because that's another thing. You want to be responding how you actually want to and should respond, not how your off-the-cuff feelings make you respond. Like being reactive versus being where you need to be in conversation. Number three, lifting weights, bro. In my experience, most guys who don't lift weights or don't do some sort of physical exercise are not only physically weak, but are also mentally, emotionally, spiritually weak people. Now, there's exceptions to this, obviously. There's always exceptions, but exceptions make the rule. When you push yourself in a particular physical way, you're essentially saying to your body, I don't care if it hurts, I'm going to continue pushing, and I'm doing it for the goal of building muscle, or becoming stronger, or losing weight, or whatever your goal is, right? Because in that process, you have a specific goal in mind you're trying to reach, and no matter what, you're going to reach it. So that does help regulate your emotions a lot, actually. And those who say it doesn't, I mean, you just don't get it. Like, it's honestly, it's like, until you have done it and seen the difference between when you have and when you haven't, you know, there's not really much you can say. But on that point, number 4, journaling. Journaling helps you speak better. It helps you put your thoughts out there. It helps you to analyze your thoughts and regroup if you need to in your thoughts. So when you sit down and you journal, and you just journal your feelings, then you journal a solution to those feelings, or you journal, like, I don't know, a to-do list for that day, you're essentially saying to your brain, we're going to put you into workshop mode now. We're going to lay you out like a blueprint, and we're just going to work things back until it gets to a certain level. So journaling definitely does help a lot, I would say, at least in my experience, because again, I've seen the difference between when I have journaled and when I haven't, and how my energy's been all over the place when I haven't, and when my energy has been a lot more grounded when I do. So, and I would say last and final point is you gotta stop watching porn. Really, you should cut out any super normal stimulants in your life, like smoking cigarettes. You should stop drinking to the largest extent. You should stop doing, stop smoking weed, and watching pornography especially is just like the way it affects your brain in conversation, not just with like a woman, okay? That's one thing, right? It'll affect your conversation with women, especially because porn rewires your brain to see them as objects. It just does. But it'll also affect your conversation with men, because a man can tell whether or not your energy is grounded. He's able to read others. And if you follow some of these tips, I'll come out with more videos like this, but if you follow some of these tips, your energy will become more grounded. You will be able to read others, and you will be able to tell the difference between somebody who is and who isn't watching pornography on at least a weekly basis. Like, it increases anxiety, it gives you ADD, ADHD, bipolar symptoms. It messes with the way your brain connects with things, like the neural pathways themselves are damaged. So you need to cut that out of your life. Not quitting so much, but more like escaping. You're escaping an awful trap. And yeah, it was bad that you got into it in the first place, but you can't really do anything about that now. But what you can do about it now is you can just stop. I mean, nothing bad is going to happen to you if you quit pornography. Nothing bad is going to happen if you escape that trap. In fact, only good things will happen. You will lose nothing, and you will only get gains. I can promise you that. These are just some basic points. I'm getting back onto YouTube, so, to expect anything super complicated is like, a little unrealistic, but I will be seeing you guys later, and think of whether or not I want to leave. Yeah, no, I'll leave this at the end of my videos from now on. I'll say, blessings of the Lord and His mercy come upon you through His divine grace and love for mankind. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. See you guys.